Hello, and welcome to my science fair project. I hope you and your family are having a fantastic day through these tough times. Today we're going to look at my project, the sleep type. So this number, 936 million, is the amount of people in the world that suffer from sleep apnea, therefore have to use a CPAP. Now, if you see in the next slide here, that's almost 1/7 of the population, almost 1/7. And considering the world is 7 billion people, that's an astonishing amount. So before we go any deeper, I think it's important that we know what my project is and an overall summary of it. So the sleep type is a chin strap that magnetically connects to the CPAP. Now my product is made from Suplex, which is a material of nylon and cotton. It's a blend. Whereas the traditional chin strap is made from 100% nylon, which can be hot, itchy, and just uncomfortable to wear throughout the entire night. Right? So as I said, this chin strap, the sleep type, solves the problem of people having dry mouth during the night. Because if you have a nasal pillow or a nasal CPAP, your mouth is apt to fall open during the night if that happens to you, and so people use a chin strap. Mine will solve that problem. And it will do that all while providing comfort due to the Suplex material. And if this device is successfully constructed, it will solve the issue that I've explained above. Now, I think this idea that I've come up with is fairly uncommon and abstract. So I think we need to understand more about how I came up with this idea. So my stepfather, like one of the many, almost 1 billion people in the world, suffers from sleep apnea. And so from that, he had to use a CPAP. Now he uses a nasal pillow, which is this right here, right? So it goes directly into your nose, seeing how your mouth is unsupported, so it can't fall open during the night, right? Because when he slept, his mouth, even before he got the CPAP, would fall open. And you'll see, whereas with this CPAP, it covers the nose and the mouth, so it's much harder, nearly impossible for your mouth to fall open while using this one. And now this is an image of the traditional chin strap, right? As you can see, I've kept the same design with my prototype, which you'll see later, as it comes under the chin and up and over top the head here. However, this is made from very hot and itchy material, nylon. Now let's get into some of the materials you're going to need to build my project. So for the virtual prototype, I did it on my iPad. So you could use any electronic device, a tablet, phone, or a computer. You're going to need a 3D modeling software. I prefer to use Tinkercad because I've used it several times before, and possibly an image converter depending on which device you use it on. And to make the actual device, which I could not do because I had the lack of skills and tools to do so, but you would need Suplex, ferrite or ceramic disc magnets, they're interchangeable, as well as a needle and stitch. So let's talk about this procedure. Now I'm going to talk about the procedure to make the prototype. So this is quite a lengthy procedure, however I'm just going to condense it for you. So first I went into Apple Notes, got my Apple Pencil, and I drew a really very simple design of what I wanted it to be. From there, I downloaded it onto my iPad, shot it over to an image converter, because Tinkercad, as I said earlier, only takes a certain type of file, so I had to convert it to an STL from a JPG, and then from there, I put it in Tinkercad, and my design became 3D. You'll see here's a very simple prototype of my device. I'm not exactly technologically gifted, but this is just a rough image of what I want it to be, right? So, if you follow me up here, you'll see we have what looks like these little flaps, and they're there for a reason. That little area in there is where the CPAP, part of the CPAP will come through. And you'll see in the side there'll be a little pocket, right, where the magnet will clip on to the CPAP. Same goes for either side, right? And you'll see we've kept the same basic design of the chin strap. If you follow me down here, along the edges, you can see, if you've ever seen an Under Armour mask, you know that they have a plastic piece in the nose. This would be there in our chin strap as well, to provide an extra little adjustment, so you can make it more your own, contour it to fit your face more. So I'm gonna show you some graphs and data I've collected. So here's graph number 1. I called several different CPAP suppliers across Ontario. I called 10. And so I asked the people, most of them clinicians, who are physicians who I talked to, and I asked them, I said, are you interested in this product? And I explained to them what it was. So 8 out of 10 said yes, and 2 out of 10 said no. Now you would think from there that the outlook for my product looks pretty good. But then I asked them, what's the outlook for it? Do you think that consumers are going to be interested in my product? And from there, 4 of them said yes, 4 said no, and 2 said possibly. Now that's a bit of an issue because they said that the chin strap and the CPAP are sold separately, and they're sold separately for a reason, and I want to sell them together, right? So because it connects magnetically. Okay, so you'd have to buy both. But these guys said that they come apart for a reason. However, the 2 people that said no or possibly, they said that if the product was good enough, that there was enough reviews, enough ratings on it, that yeah, they think that their consumers would be interested in it and that they would sell it at their stores. So from there, you can clearly see that the majority of the market is interested in my product. If you were to extrapolate the numbers, right, and take it to fit the entire market, you can see that most people are interested. So some challenges and how I overcame them in this project. The first one I had is, so when I called all these 10 suppliers, the first lady seemed very, very confused because I didn't really explain what I was doing. So she didn't really take me too seriously. And she just kind of asked me, she's like, and you're looking to buy one? I was like, no. So, and then after I explained to her what I did, she seemed to sugarcoat and kind of lie about it, as some of the rest of them did. So I had to call back later and kind of go, because I could tell from the way they were talking. I had to call back and say, is that what you were really honest about? They said no, right? As the first lady seemed very confused, as some of them did. They were kind of like, seriously, you're calling about CPAPs at 14? What? Or I was ignored. Some people just said, oh, okay, hung up. And I was sometimes put on hold for an hour and a half, waiting for someone because I wasn't top priority. So how I overcame that was I had to act more professional. I said, hey, how you doing? How's your day going? Try to connect with them. And then from there I moved forward and said, here's what I'm doing, and so on, right? And here's the bibliography and my sources for it, or these websites. And of course, a huge shout out to the people I called because they spent a lot of time answering my questions. So thank you to them as well. I hope that you enjoyed listening to my product presentation, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.